Kelly Green, a suicide prevention advocate. And Kelly, the unfortunate timing of all of this is it falls during Suicide Prevention Month and actually Suicide Prevention Day today. And my first question to you really is there any way to prevent something from this happening? Or is there any steps people can take?
Well, there are, and hopefully the more we talk about it, the more people will be aware. But if you have any concerns about somebody that you love, somebody who's around you, a friend, anybody, to try and get help from any professional, a counselor in school, the guidance counselors, the counselors that are there from the county. There are resources out there, and to just keep pushing and pushing until you can find a resource that will help.
Right. When we talk about friends, you know, the common thing we hear is to reach out, say something. If you notice your friend acting maybe a little strange, what do you do? How do you start that conversation? What do you say?
You say, hey man, you're not acting quite right. Are you thinking about suicide? You ask them straight up. Because if they are, there's a sense of relief that somebody gets it. And if they aren't, they usually say, no, not at all. And then that's the end of it. But to be able to be that bold, to say it straight out, it can actually save a life.
And that's what's really important. What you touched on is actually saying suicide. If you say that word, you don't beat around the bush at all.
No.
There's something about saying suicide that either catches them right there or allows them to say, nope.
Nope, not me.
Okay.
No, I'm good. You know, and a lot of times it's such a relief for somebody who is feeling that, and that's all they've been thinking and focusing on. And somebody else goes, oh, you know, they get it. And so it can really lead to a path for help.
Now, for the friends, the family, one thing that we also hear is something called the survivor's guilt.
It's terrible.
What do they need to know? Because there's really nothing that you could have done differently, right? Or what would you say?
You can go back and look for years, and there could be a million things that you may have done differently yesterday, today, 10 years ago, who knows? But you still don't know what the outcome would have been. And to try and make sense of something that makes no sense is kind of futile, and it beats yourself up. And people are still going to have that survivor's guilt. They're going to feel like they should have done something differently. They should have helped in a different way. But I would recommend highly that they connect with other people who are feeling the same, so that they can work through some of their own feelings with that.
All right, and the important thing is there are support groups out there for people that are dealing with that guilt. There's also support groups for people that are going through rough times. So the important thing is reaching out, right?
The important thing is reaching out. And if the first person doesn't help you, go to the next, go to the next. There are a lot of resources now that weren't here years ago. And so there's a lot to reach out to, and you know, the hotlines and all, very important, very important. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
That is the most important part. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Kelly, thank you so much. And again, we have all those resources for people to reach out if you need those numbers, the hotline number, any places on the Eastern Shore, Delmarva, that offer these services.